Jim Lee, the publisher of DC Comics, has gone out on record saying that the James Gunn reboot of the DC universe is going to bring renewed interest to their comic book brands. Well, that's going to be the case only if they do the comic books right. You have to do that in tandem with the movies. Otherwise, it doesn't work very well. Now, from what I've seen of the movie slate, they're using a lot of like B-list characters. A lot of people are going to struggle to care about to begin with. It's some odd choices by James Gunn to go out there. But we'll see what happens on that front. I doubt DC is going to get too much of a boost of it. I think comic shops are really on their way out, and there's not that many people going into them at this point. And of course, they're going out of business, so they're not really going to be coming back just because there's a movie there. So, but they're also making awful choices on the other back round. We've talked about IDW Comics and how they're going out of business. They're having trouble. Now, DC has had similar troubles over the last couple years. They had this 5G initiative, which didn't work out. It just fizzled. Comic retailers have gone out and said that Marvel and DC don't seem to even be trying anymore. They seem to just be putting out their brand products. Nobody's really excited about them. There's no continuity for anybody to care about. They're just bastardizing everything left and right. And it looks like DC is about to do that again with their new hire. This is worse than Heather Antos, guys. I mean, if you've been watching those videos about how she's destroyed IDW and what she's done over there, this guy actually single-handedly was the cause of the collapse of Marvel back in 2017, 2018. And now he's going to do it to DC Comics. So I'm talking about Jason Aaron. If you don't know who Jason Aaron is, he's a comic writer. He's one of the, quote, A-list guys out there that they put on everything. In every single book he made for Marvel, it was pretty much a, here's a strong female lead. She's coming out here, and the male character is going to whine and complain. The girl's going to be like, yay, feminism, the future is female, and then just be better than the male character in the book. It's very ridiculous. He did it with Star Wars. He did it with The Incredible Hulk. Even he made Betsy Ross into this like Hulk who was better than the Hulk. It was ridiculous. He took Doctor Strange and did this. Doctor Strange lost everything, was a loser, and like this like, you know, quirky girl shows up and saves him. He turned Thor into a woman, and of course Thor went away and Jane Foster became Thor, which doesn't make any sense because Thor is a boy, and it's of course a weird transgender narrative to try to push that. He did it to Wolverine. They eventually made Wolverine into X-23 because of that, and every single character that he just touched became a strong female lead. It was really ridiculous. And so now Batman is going to get this guy on there. So if Batman becomes Bat-Them, do you think people are actually going to come back to the comics just because there's some movies out? It doesn't even look like there's much of a Batman slate in the James Gunn universe anyway. I mean, yeah, they're going to, of course, put Batman into every background of every movie just because, you know, that'll help them sell the movie. But as far as the comics go, if you get this guy on here, if you write comics that are going to be just ridiculously bad and that nobody's going to want, you're going to have the same problems that Marvel had in 2017, 2018. We saw their sales collapse. I wrote down those sales numbers for the Federalist back in the day. They were absolutely dismal, and comic shops nearly went out of business, and it's largely because of Jason Aaron's work over at Marvel. So DC loves to just recycle these same people. These companies do the same thing. They just have their little nepotism game going. It's always the same people over and over and over again, and they never learn their lesson. It's very bizarre what's going on here. But gosh, their loss is my gain. If you miss the way old Batman comics used to be, my friends, I have Flying Sparks. This is a 5-volume series. I'm not just writing my first comic like a lot of YouTubers out there, not just putting a self-insert in there. I've written a full superhero universe. And actually, my intention was to replace a lot of the Batline back there when the New 52 came out, because they screwed up a lot of things back then too. That's another story for another time. Now, Volume 1 right here is a great place to start. It's my superheroes beginnings. And of course, it builds a huge climactic plot all the way through Volume 5. I wrote this so every single one of these is standalone so that you can read them yourself and it's all its own thing. But if you read all of it, you've got that building plot like the old comics used to do. It's full continuity. There's no multiverse. There's no like, fake versions of the characters. It's all just one character's like storyline. Not just one character, but one universe of characters storyline. And it all matters. People who die, die. People who live, live. And of course, the hero's journey is a very integral part here. So check out Flying Sparks. Look, Volume 5 is the best one by far, for sure. This is the new one. It concludes the story. It's epic. But if you want to start at the beginning, Volume 1 is on here as well. Please check this out. Check out the difference to DC, the difference to IDW. We are replacing them, guys, and we're going to win. All right. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.